clicked on this video, it's because you want to learn about Prodesktop. One of the reasons why we're doing this course today by video link is just because we are not able to cover this in class, so you'll be learning this at your own time. I'll get started then. Right, if you can observe up here, okay, file, edit, view, all these are common menu that we know from Windows and so on. Okay, if we click on file, for example, we'll find out that you can save or save a copy. Right, edit is the same. View, you still have your zoom in it, viewpoint. I think while I'm taking you through the knowledge of the basic command or the basic use of Prodesktop, we might run over some of these. Okay, line, if you like to draw a line, figure like circle, rectangle, ellipse, whichever type of line you want to draw will come from here. Constraint, if you like to put any constraint, I will take it on to these. Return features, to turn a 2D object onto 3D, you will come on up here and notice that some of these menu are shown on the right hand side of your screen. Okay, so let's get started then. In fact, the reason why we are doing this is because of our project later picker. Okay, we want to draw this as we have already sketched the look of this freehand sketch. This is now a good idea to go to a 3D or a card design one to really show that we have thoroughly learned about these existing products, and from there, and this is one of the advantage of card, we will easily modify this to suit our need or to suit our design. Okay, if we go back onto this, okay, if you can follow me on this, note that if I come and click this, my screen will change onto, my view will change onto this. If we click on this, then change onto this, and let's start up with say a circle. Okay, all right, so this circle, any diameter, let's just leave it like it is. If you use your middle mouse, you can rotate. See that you can rotate these, and notice that we can use this tool here and ask to obviously extrude by adding materials. Okay, if we say we want to extrude this, the minimum height that we found during this project was, say, 75 centimeters, and because it's millimeters, so 750 millimeters. Okay, and if I say okay, you will see that we got this cylinder showing this way, actually 750 millimeters. So if you can do this, then you are on the right track. Okay, we'll be learning this as we're moving along, so there's absolutely no point of sitting here and going through the whole project while you're still learning. So I will be taking you step by step. So the first step is to create this cylinder, starting with a 2D circle, extrude. If you hover your mouse here, extrude profile, this menu will come up and will help you to extrude your figure, so you can have something like this. Okay, if you can carry on and do this, we will meet you in the next video. Thank you. Okay, having created our cylinder, the next task I would like you to do is to transform this onto a tube. How can we do that? If you use your middle mouse and rotate this cylinder, scroll to here so you can view the top of this cylinder. What I would like you to do is to try and use this select face tool to select this face right here. Okay, something very important to notice here is if you select this and ask Prodesktop to help us draw on the top of this cylinder, nothing will happen. Prodesktop will just understand it as you're asking him to help you design something in the base. Okay, I will let you try it and it will not work. So what you'll have to do is to select the top face like this and right click and create a new work plane. You have to have a work plane created top cylinder. Okay, if you say this is the top of your cylinder, do not offset, leave it as it is and say okay. You're now telling him that after you have noticed that there are 1, 2, 3 faces, you have just created a 4th one. How do you know that? You know that by going on the left hand side of your screen and observe that you got the base turning to red, mean that it's selected, the front, the lateral view, and what you just created, which is a top cylinder. Now we are ready to create, by right clicking, create a new sketch from the top of our cylinder. If you would like to change the name and say figure from the top of your cylinder, feel free. I'll just leave it as it is and say okay, and underneath of cylinder my new sketch will be showing there. Okay, so from here then I would like to create, as we've said, transform this cylinder into a tube. Okay, for our little picker to create a circle, I would like to use the extrude profile tool. This time I would like to remove subtract material and go below the work plane. Instead of going above, I would like it to go below the work plane and say, well, 750, that's the height. Say okay, click anywhere, and I've just transformed my cylinder into a tube. Can you see? If you use your middle mouse, you can see now that it has been transformed into a tube, which will be the first. If I'm looking for a rounded tube for my little picker, this is the first part of it then. Okay, thank you. Now we are looking for the handle. Okay, as simple as it could be. We will first of all, as we've said, create a new work plane on the lateral view. Do not offset, leave it as it is, and say okay, say handle, okay, incorrect format for number of expression. Alright, handle, do not want to offset. Okay, and I'll call it handle. It is handle. Okay, if you go into well, we've said that we've created it in the lateral view, so in the same view create a new sketch and they say okay, for example, and use these. Alright, there's a conflict here. As you can see, I'm not working in the work plane that I created, so I want to work in the handle which is here, and I asked to create a new sketch called handle 1. Say okay, use these two, come down here, and when I zoom closely to it, go be next to where you want to start sketching, use these two. If probably start from the middle there. It's not picking up. Okay, click, and it's picking up now. Make sure that you are designing in the lateral. As you can see, I'm designing in the lateral view, lateral plane. Okay, if I undo this, I'm in the lateral. Use my line tool to draw straight line, just like this. Draw straight line like this. Carry on drawing. I'm now drawing my handle. Okay, it's my conception for what the handle might look like. Okay, if I leave it there and see what it looks like, if you just zoom and use the middle mouse flipped, see, we got something like this. And then we can work out how we will come about and use the extrude tool to give this a certain thickness. Okay, see you next then. Okay, what we need to do now is to make sure that we can extrude this. Let's make sure that this shape is closed right now. As you can see now that this surface turned onto a kind of sky blue. Alright, let's extrude this to give this a certain thickness, add material, and then say we want a handle to be about, say 20, or say 50 mil, bit thick. All right, 5 centimeters. How is it? Is it too big? Say 40. All right, recall again that you should refer to your anthropometric drawing to come up with the best idea on what to get for your handle. Okay, you've got something like this, which is not bad. Okay, what we would now do is to give this a certain kind of smooth the side to have something just like a handle. Okay, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, for some reason I've decided to modify the whole handle. Okay, just kind of click on on the line and say delete, and this will just happen. All right, I'll just complete this side with what I've got here. Let's complete this so we can have a close figure. Okay, now extrude. We've said 40 earlier. Should we just go say 25 with 2.5 centimeters? Really small. Don't forget that this person has got a problem with right hand, so mobility problem. So does it look like a handle now? Something like that. Okay, now moving along, we take this to the tip of our picking tool, where we are now looking for grabbers at the end here. So what would you put as a grabber at the end? What technique would you use? This is now what we'll be looking at in the next video. Again, don't forget that using figure will require a new plane, otherwise it will not work. So if I escape this, escape this command and then come out of it, and I will just kind of say, all right, select again lateral view. Should we select the lateral view again, lateral, and create a new plane which we will call grabber. So grabber, do not offset, grabber. Okay, we've now created a lateral workspace. We will right click on that and create a new sketch and say okay. Now use the spline probably, or again the line tool to create. Oh, there is a conflict. Let's go in grabber and say new sketch. All right, to make sure that we are not doing anything silly. If you zoom in, come out of this, if you zoom in, you should be able to draw, kind of conceive what you believe your grabber could be, but actually the internal side of this tube is selected. This means there is a fault somewhere. Okay, we would like to draw in the grabber, and the grabber has got these, which just delete these, has got sketch 2, and from sketch 2 with sketch 2 sketch 3 selected. Let's make sure that grabber is in the correct work plane. If you go on the view tool and then zoom in, all right, view tool, and say auto scale to see everything in our screen. So we can see that grabber is effectively our lateral sketch, but for some reason up here, yeah, we've got a top view, but we would like to draw. Okay, we would like to draw auto scale. We would like to offset to move. So if I redefine grabber, and I will ask grabber to move up, offset it, angle tangent, offset it to say about 750, which is the height. Well, it goes. Notice that this offset is not good because it moves horizontally. Okay, we would like to move to offset these vertically. Okay, so if we move it up to reference point cylinder, okay, if you bear with me, and I'll come to you with a better answer. Okay, what I did is I've just created a new work plane around the top of my cylinder, and I will start by drawing a new grabber. Alright, just drag this. My idea of a grabber might not be the same as yours. Okay, so bear with me. I do not need to really follow what I'm doing. Okay, you can draw your own conception of a grabber for an existing product. I will just draw a grabbing in two direction one. Okay, if we go on to extrude it by saying about 100 mil. Add material, say okay, come back on and kind of use these vertices to change the look of it. Alright, if I undo, okay, so kind of come here, use this to say we want to cut this like this way. Is it not close? No, it's not close. Not close. Should be a closed surface so we can. So we are to enable us to just press delete and delete those lines that we've just created. And draw them again. I don't want to create any conflict with this inside view showing. Okay, if I got a sketch, got the sketch on the top, just want to seize this to make up our grabber. If you view auto scale, zoom again on alright. I would like to use scale it this way. Okay, bring the line tool up about here. Okay, something very important. We're looking to draw and we have not created the correct face, so we should be able to say we wanted to draw on this face. Alright, select, right click, new work plane. Okay, say okay, new sketch, say okay, use a line tool, and we are now free to draw this face. And remove it. Okay, if we go onto extrude, say subtract material and say below the surface, kind of just want to get rid of all these. Say okay, and it's gone. Okay, another one. Select the face, right click, work plane, say okay. From this work plane, right click, new sketch, say okay, and then use the line tool to also create delete, use the line tool. What we want to do is to have something that will come from here and then from here to say about here. Okay, again extrude. What do we do? Subtract, and then we can come up here and push this aside and say okay. All right, as you can see, we have now kind of I would say try to have something that can be worked out to give us the result that we are looking for. Alright, I'll let you go with this. We're just trying to use some of these tools so you can see how they work, and in your own time play with these and come up with your grabber tool made using Prodesktop. So thank you for listening, and keep on practicing. Use these computers in T1, okay, even in the ICT 5 you will still find some of these computers with the software in. So keep on practicing. Thank you.